What do we do with this extraordinary complexity? Okay, so let's try and classify this another way. And what we want to do is we want to introduce another concept that we call life-world differences. And if you like, these are first-order differences. If the categories are second-order differences, these are first-order differences, right? And the genesis of the word life-world is kind of in German philosophy. Edmund Husserl, then Jürgen Habermas, both use this concept to describe this world of deeply subjectively felt everyday experience. Pierre Bourdieu has a nice way to phrase this, the French theoretician is. He says, this is the world that comes without saying because it goes without saying. It's just deeply in us and we can often barely articulate what it is. And the job of thinking through who we are is to try to articulate these things which are in a complex way submerged in our identities, in our life histories, and our beliefs and who we are in the world. So here are 4 words that we want to use to describe these life world attributes. Now, of course, there are dimensions of all the categorical stuff which make this up, but we have in our lives these conjunctions of affinities, which are the things that I belong to, the things that I connect with. I might belong to a community group, I belong to a class when I go to school, and in fact, in my life, I belong to many, many things. There are many, many affinity groups that I belong to, and affinity is these forms of deeply felt connection with things. And by the way, deeply felt disconnections. I don't belong to that other group because I disapprove of them for one reason or another. We also have things that we might call personae. And I don't mean personalities in the sense that they're things that are, I was born an introvert or I was born an extrovert or something or other. These are things which come out of one's life experience, one's life's history, and the effect of these things, which we might have called categorical in the previous set of definitions, is to develop identities and develop our persona, who we are as a person. We also have things that I would like to call agencies, which are things that I am motivated to do, motivated action, if you like. So these are things where I don't just receive the world as identity ascribed to myself, but where I act in the world because I have affect, A-F-F-E-C-T, that affect, because I have emotional commitment to things, because I want to do things, I have volition, I have desire. So that's another dimension which we need to be kind of unpacking. And finally, what we have here is this idea of narrative. So if I'm to account for who I am at this moment and where I've come from, what I can do is I can create narratives, life histories, something which is an account of my experience. So these are these general ways where we can build a kind of a picture of who I am as different from other people around me, which then explain my particular motivations, my particular inclinations, my particular interests, my particular aptitudes in relation to learning.